Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Creatives of Windsor Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Sherdown, and today I'm sitting down with local artist Jeff Denomme, who is also known as The Haunted Zoo.
Correct.
Thanks for coming on.
I'm that guy. Thanks for having me.
Where'd you come up with that name, anyway?
The Haunted Zoo or Jeff Denomme? I had nothing to do with Jeff Denomme, but the Haunted Zoo, funny story, was actually, I was in school for graphic design. And we had to do a project on like a haunted house, a candy store, whatever, a zoo. So I was just being a dink to the teacher, as 24-year-olds do. And I was like, well, what if I do it as a haunted zoo instead of a candy store or a zoo, whatever. And the teacher, I was just trying to be a dink. And the teacher was like, wow, that's very creative, Jeff. Like, yeah, you should do that. And I'm like, oh, no, And so I did. And I made the project. It was like a website, I think. And I made the project kind of like a Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of guy, like a Quasimodo, like with a matchstick, kind of to get through the haunted house or whatever. And I presented it to the class. It wasn't exactly kind of what the haunted zoo looks like now, but like an early version, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And I presented it to the class, and my class was like, "Oh, dude, this is so cool," and whatever. It's like illustration style. I'm like, "Oh, okay, the haunted zoo. Okay, yeah." So I bought the domain name. So I bought the URL, and then I didn't use it for 3 years probably. I just kind of sat on it because I'm like, I know that just sounds cool. It has a good ring to it. Yada yada yada. Yada yada a lot. So
that's fine.
I'm a yadder. Fill in the blanks. And so anyway, so the Haunted Zoo didn't come to be because at the time I had something called Fathom Clothing.
Okay.
So I had a clothing company. We were on the Vans Warped Tour. We sponsored like Silverstein and Take 'Em Back Sunday and Matchbook Romance and all these Yellow Car, like all these bands were wearing the shirts. And then I moved to Vancouver and I did this. I'm kind of like jumping around here, but I did this snowboard design contest for the Teleski and Snowboard Festival, and I ended up coming second in this contest. It was like I don't even know if you're old enough to know about this, but it was like 2007. It was text message, but you had to text your vote in. Mm-hmm. But it was like R.
L.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, perfect. Well, I'm not sure how old you are, but I mean,
I was 12 then. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And so I ended up coming in second place, and that was like, oh wow, thousands of people seeing this bee design because the bee was on the snowboard, and so I was like, oh, this is the Haunted Zoo. Like I think at that time, I think the snowboard even said Fathom Clothing on it. And it had the old Fathom kind of jellyfish logo in the background of the...
Which you had designed as well.
Yeah. Okay. And so anyway, I was like, this is the Haunted Zoo. And that's kind of where the Haunted Zoo jumped off. It is around 2007. And then I kind of did that for a while out in Vancouver. And then I moved back to Windsor in like 2013, 14, something like that. And I stopped doing Haunted Zoo because I was doing hot sauce and graphic design, bought a house, got married, had kids, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
And then like 2 years ago, it came back. Someone asked me for something, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Only 2 years, that's it?
Yeah. So, but it's kind of funny right now because everybody's like, oh, dude, you're blowing up, or oh, man, like overnight success. And I'm like, well, no, it's like 20 years plus in the making. And also I got to come back on third base. Right. Yeah. Like, I think some people think I just started it too. I'm like, well, no, I have a whole universe and I have all these things and people know that I did this 20 years ago.
And you've been doing graphic design for the last 20 years. Right?
Yeah. And people that were 25 buying my snowboards or skateboards or whatever now have kids. So they're like, oh, sweet. And then they hop onto this. Right. So I'm cheating at being myself.
What is your, cause have you done graphic design like for yourself for the last 20 years? Is that's your main thing, right?
I mean, it's all kind of in the same soup.
Yeah.
So I do graphic design. I did photography for a while. I did, I build stuff. Like, so I'm just this blue, I'm like, so it's like blue collar, white collar. And I always say that I'm like the Technicolor dream collar. I don't know, just guy. So it's like, I do all the things.
Okay.
Like I'm kind of lucky enough that we both are in the city of Windsor. I grew up in a blue collar world, blue collar family, blue collar friends, like, so I know how to do things. I know how to build things. I know how to, which helps immensely.
I'm sure.
Like even all your frames out here, that you build, you probably wouldn't get there or know how to do that if you didn't grow up in a certain way or someone that has a saw at least, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true.
So it's helped me greatly to kind of have those skills and I do, but to answer the question, graphic design is the main thing, but it all kind of spawns out off of that.
That's cool. Is like, do you, like for the graphic design work you work for a lot of like you have clients and you do stuff for them that's not.
Not so much anymore, but I mean, that's cool. Kind of where I don't even know. Like I just wake up and I just go and
just things happen.
And right now it's like right now everything's happening so fast that I don't even just next go. And then I'm like, I feel like I haven't had time to even enjoy. I mean, I enjoy what I do. But like to like stop and reflect on it and be like, whoa, that was a crazy year. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's done. Okay, I gotta go to the next thing because it's like, because I'm also like integrity is huge to me. So it's like if I say I'm going to do something, it's going to get done. Like I don't care if I have to stay up for 3 days straight; it'll be done.
Yeah.
And I'm still holding strong on that. I've never not been able to deliver.
Yes.
So
I'm like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's kind of cool, and I'm sure for a lot of people that doesn't make sense, but that makes sense to me. Like some people are like, what's your day to day look like? I have no idea.
Yeah, it just gets done.
It's different every day.
Well, and like to kind of get back to that, like I had years ago, like I was doing wedding photography and all that back in the day, and I had a friend be like I don't know if they were in my studio or what. Someone came over to give me a deposit or something. I forget the exact how it happened, but they were like, "Bro, that person just gave you like $2,000." I go, "Yeah." They're like, "Dude, you can just like move to Australia or something." And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "No, it's a deposit for the thing." I'm like, if I steal from them or move away or whatever it is, that's the last $2,000 I'm ever going to make.
Yeah.
I'm like, people talk. Like, I'm like, it's not worth it. I'm like, they didn't give me like $27 billion. They gave me $2,000, you know, like, I guess when you're 25, you know, but you have to always remember that you have to think ahead, right? Like there's tons of people that screw people over all the time. Right. And it's like, you know, people, I'm not doing this construction because this person, that. And I'm like, no, if you want to be an independent person and do your stuff, you can't screw people over. Like it's word of mouth, man. And you're going to screw yourself over by screwing someone else over, you know?
Yeah. And a lot of people too, they're like, well, like a few, like $4,000 in one day is insane. It's like, yeah, but that's not every single day.
Yeah.
Like when you have a normal job, every day you go to work, you make the same amount of money.
Yeah.
When you work for yourself, like, you make $4,000 on Saturday, but then you don't make any money for 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Or 3 months.
Or,
Who knows?
Or a whole week. Like, and then it gets, so you can't look at it like that. Like,
no, it's totally different. And that's, I don't understand that too. Like even when people put like, okay, well, I'm going to buy a couch and then, you know, I have $200 a week for the next 700 years that I'm going to pay for this couch. I don't even know what that means. Like, it's like, all of a sudden I get a couch, boom, I have a couch now. And then it's like, okay. And then, you know, like you said, week, 2 week, 3 weeks, 6 years, whatever, no money comes in. I don't have any couches. And it's like, oh, all of a sudden I have 6 couches coming in one day. Right. And it's like, so I don't know how, and I've done that for my whole life. So I don't know what being, I don't know, regularly employed or whatever you want to call it, means. And I was actually making this joke the other day because I was talking to somebody about, doing art like this, and we want to have like an animated series and a cartoon and all that, and they kind of related it to the fact of, you know, it's kind of like being an actor or a band or something where, you know, you make, you know, $4 a year for X amount of years, and then you don't go from 4 to 8, you go from 4 to like 7 million. You know what I mean? It's like once you kind of make it, like, and then so I made the joke of like people would be like, "Wow, you got paid $100 million for that?" I'm like, kind of, but I also got back paid for the last 25 years of not getting paid appropriately, you know? And it's like, it's kind of funny. It's all like, so technically, even with that $100 million, I still got paid $16 an hour for the last, you know? I mean, I'm joking. Don't do the math on this. It's totally wrong.
But no, I understand what you mean. Yeah, like it took you 10 years of work to be able to do that job that paid very well.
Yeah. And it's like, but now this is like an IP, right? So you have the characters, but then you have like the cartoon, then you have the merch and the pajamas and the stuffed animals, and so like that's what has like the exponential growth right there, right? And it's like I'm willing to sacrifice now to do it for the for sure thing of it being a cartoon tomorrow, you know.
I want to ask you what's going on with this TV show. Explain it to me and everything that it entails.
I don't even know. No. So we got granted a Bell 5 TV1 docuseries.
Who's we? Gavin's doing this with you, right?
Well, we as in the haunted zoo, like just I talk in we's. But my wife is also part of the haunted zoo now. She does all the smart people things.
Okay.
I just make the eye candy.
Okay.
But yeah. So and Gavin's directing it.
Okay.
But yeah, so we have a TV show. It's a docuseries about the haunted zoo and like what we do in the community with these projects.
Oh, cool.
So we're in the middle of filming it right now, and so far we've done, we painted a mural at the boxing gym on Drouillard, Border City Boxing, and we had the actual, so I basically put up a coloring book on the walls, and we had the kids from the class come in and actually paint the walls with us.
Cool.
They loved it. It was crazy. Like we had like 30 kids out there, and they were going bonkers. And then our second one we did with Red Piston. So they're like a local kind of tech company that makes video games and websites and things like that. So I don't get into the whole backstory of that, but I guess we're on a podcast. I guess we can. So anyway, so we came up with this thing. They wanted a mural before we even knew that we had the show. And so we had a meeting on Wednesday, and I said, okay, yeah, we'll talk about the mural on Wednesday. On Tuesday, we got the call from Bell saying, hey, you guys got this show. So I was like, oh, perfect. So now I'm like, okay, let's do something a little bit cooler. So we went into the meeting for the mural and we talked about that. And they were like, okay, we're just chit-chatting. And I said, but what about this idea? And they're like, what? I was like, well, we have this TV show. I kind of explained. I said, let's do a mural. We'll do this. So we did a Canadian tech and innovation mural. I was like, and I want you guys to be in the show. And because we're going to be filming that next. I'm like, but you guys are going to make a haunted zoo video game. And they were like, oh, dude, for sure, let's do this. So now this is a 2-part, and that whole kind of, not every project's an episode, but they're going to be intertwined. But that whole look at that is basically saying we're in a small city, and we have to have the creatives and the techs and everything, techies kind of come together to make, these bigger than life kind of projects come to life, right?
Yeah.
We're not in a huge metropolitan city that we just have everybody has $1 billion to make these products come to fruition. It's like we have to work together. We're a gritty people to get these things done. So part 1 was the mural, and part 2 is a haunted zoo video game. And
the TV show is gonna show all of that.
Yeah, it's gonna show all the behind the scenes and how we made the things, us designing it. Like even these bags that I brought here, this just got finished this weekend. So it was us. The downtown BAA and Farmers Market, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the Spitfires kind of funded this project, and we made a haunted zoo trick or treat bag.
That's really cool.
Open the side flap there.
This here?
No, like the side, yeah. Look at all the haunted zoo candy.
Oh, that's cool.
But so we handed those out. We had 1,000 bags out over the last 2 days at the Spitfires game at the downtown Farmers Market. So we kind of have behind the scenes of me designing that and getting them ready and us handing them out.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we have a couple more too, coming up that are pretty kind of like the pull the heartstring episodes. So
yeah, that's awesome. How many episodes are you guys planning to do for this show?
Right now there's 6, but I don't know. We're just getting projects left and right, so maybe we'll have to add some. I don't know, but it's 6 for now. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. What is your characters, obviously you have a style and a theme that you kind of stick to, like when you see your work, it's yours kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even when it's not a bee and it's a pumpkin or whatever.
Yeah.
How is your process? Do you draw by hand on paper, iPads? How are you do this?
So that's a funny thing too. So I've been doing this. So I'll go back a little bit. So like I said, I had a clothing company called Fathom Clothing. At the time, I was just making random shirts. I didn't even know what I was doing. I would do it on paper, and I would hand it to the silk screen company or screen printing company. I think they call it more now. And they would digitize. I didn't even know what that was. I was just like, oh, cool. Now I have shirts with my stuff on it. But none of them really looked the same. There was no brand to it kind of thing, right?
Yep.
And then I was like, I don't know, 2 years into this clothing company or something, and I went, I should probably learn about what I'm doing. And so I ended up going to school for graphic design, and then I learned about vector, and I was like, ooh, because funny enough, and it's kind of how the eyes came to be. I used to be very sketchy when I would draw. If you don't know, people always say, who is your biggest inspiration? And I tell them, and they look at what it is, and they're like, how the hell would that be your inspiration, right? And it's funny because I agree.
Who is it?
Derek Hess.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Nope.
So he's like a super sketchy kind of like figure drawing, but he used to do all like the hardcore posters and flyers and stuff. And I think he's from Ohio. And I was like a hardcore punk rock kid going to Detroit all the time and the shows and then from there it kind of got into that whole like post-hardcore screamo emo world. And
that does not look like your stuff.
No, not even close. But I used to draw super sketchy but cartoon. So it was like, so when you'd go around in a circle enough times, the eyes kind of tend to almost like one of those like gyrographs or whatever they call it you get for Christmas, you with a pen. Yeah. So when you go on one side, and that's kind of how the eyes came. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But then I was also in graphic design, so I was learning about branding, and I'm like, okay, so I need to create. Well, actually, even before that, it's a better part of the story. But I was like, I need to create a whole family of characters that look exactly the same. So as soon as you see it, you need to recognize it, like it's Hello Kitty or like it's Paul Frank or something like that, right?
Yep.
And that's kind of why I stopped doing Fathom clothing, because a little ego popped up and was like, people are only buying these clothes because bands are wearing them, and they don't know who you are or care who you are. And I was like, well, I want people to know who I am, kind of. Now that I'm old, I'm like, who cares? Just buy the clothes. Like, I'll have those paychecks coming in the background,
Yeah.
But at the time, that was important to me. Which now it is as well, obviously, because I'm still doing it. So my teacher, so this is illustration. This is called illustration. We had an option in graphic design to pick, I forget what the two subjects were. One was illustration and one was whatever, butter churning. I forget whatever the other one was.
Yeah, okay.
And I picked butter churning. And my teacher was like, Mike Level. But my teacher said, well, Jeff, why would you pick butter churning? Like, what's that going to do for you, And I was like, well, I can't draw. Like, I can't draw, because we'd have figure drawing classes, people posing naked, doing flexes and stuff.
Yeah.
And all my people looked like shrunken head dolls. Like, they were just terrible. They were deflated, I was like, I can't do that. Like, what's the point of me taking that? And he was like, no. He's like, yeah, these suck. I'm sure he said that. He probably didn't, but he should have. But he said, no, check out all these concert posters. Check out all these cartoons. So he showed me kind of the world of like illustration, but from like, almost from like that skateboard world or that concert poster world. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. So then that's how this came to be. So I forget what the question was, but that was my ramble about it. But it took for him to kind of show me what illustration is and could be for me to turn this whole thing into a brand or whatever. And just knowing branding, I knew that I had to keep it consistent. And it's funny, people be like, oh, my kids could draw them. Like, I want to hire them. Because it's actually harder to design something minimalistic than it is to create something that's like detailed. Okay. People think it's the opposite. And I'm like, well, no, because they're both hard. They both take skill, and I'm not taking away from anybody that,
Yeah, no. I
but from a graphic and design standpoint, if you look at all the biggest companies, all their logos and some of that are very minimalistic and simple, right? But because that is the most recognizable, memorable, yada, yada, yada. But it's like, at the same time, when you have for example, like that picture of Toronto there that you have, I can't tell if any of those trees are broken or if any branches fell off. It's just, there's lots going on. I'm like, oh, nice picture. I just look at it as an overall, right? Yep. Whereas if you just had the picture of the CN Tower by itself, then I'm going to be like, oh, okay, is it perfectly? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, there's no distraction. So like, for example, if I'm painting this and my brush goes a little bit sideways and it wipes the forehead a little bit, instantly you're like, oh, mistake. Yeah. Right? Whereas if I'm doing some abstract piece or stuff flying everywhere, or blending and all that, there's no mistakes. Even though there's 3,000 mistakes in it, you can't see it.
Yeah, like it has to be I see what you mean.
It has to be perfect, right?
Yeah, there's only 15 lines in that.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I started with, before the Haunted Zoo, like even when I was doing the Fathom stuff, I was like, it started with me wanting me to make a ball, essentially, a circle, and seeing by just using my oval eyes, how many like expressions I could make with just a circle as a face or a head, and then two circles as eyes. You put them high, you put them low, you put them sideways. All of a sudden, that circle either looks happy, sad, lonely, whatever it is. Yeah. And then that's before even the Haunted Zoo existed, but that's kind of how I started this style, I guess you would say. And then it went from there. And then now I'm actually getting less. It's still a minimalistic design, but I'm actually, when I made my kids book, I started to fill things in a lot more. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And it's almost like it's the same style, but it's like a new style of doing the style. And I'm kind of enjoying it because it's like it's changing it up a bit. And
like even like adding like bats and things like that.
Yeah, just adding. It used to just be like white backgrounds and things. So now I'm kind of adding backgrounds, but I'm using like you'll kind of see like there's no black lines on the backgrounds, and I'm kind of playing with this.
Yep.
I should have brought a book as well to show you, but I'm kind of adding these like when I made the book as well, because my wife was like, yeah, but these kids are going to be looking at, because it's a longer book. It's like 36 pages, I think, but there's like lots of text. And my wife's like, yeah, but you have to hold the kids' interest. So you're going to have to like put some stuff in the background. And I was like, well, but I don't want to. That's not the Haunted Zoo. And, kind of had this whole inner debate, like, is this really what I'm doing? And,
yeah.
But then as I started doing it, I started getting into it. I was like, oh, perfect. Like, so like in the workshop scene of like the wood shop, I'm like, oh, there's like sawdust pellets and there's like screwdrivers and there's like balls of Windex, but they're called Wingdex, like all these things like in the background. Then I started getting super into it. So now I'm in this like mid-range period of like, depending on what I'm doing.
Yep.
Even my murals, now I'm trying to cover every square inch, but I'm like, cleverly, how do I minimalistically add more, but not really add more? It's like this whole puzzle,
like blending these colors, like
stuff like that, or even like when you saw the truck out front, like there's like a million leaves, but they're all minimalistic leaves, but they're like where they cross, and even being a designer, right? Like I'm like, oh, that leaf doesn't cross the exact right spot. You got to move it up like 3 pixels, and like because you don't want your eye getting caught on anything.
Yeah. What do you use to do this work?
I remember your question now, but yes, as soon as you said that, I was like, bing. So to get to the original question, which I'll then answer that question, I use Illustrator.
Okay.
But so back in the day, I would like draw these things out like almost like this.
Yep.
I still do once in a while if I'm bored, which I'm not bored very often. But I would draw them out like kind of almost like verbatim, really. Like you would see that at a pencil. Now I've been doing it so long, and I have so much of
archive.
Archive. It was backlog or archive of like characters and faces and eyes and so. Oh, what did I use 13 years ago? This would be that now I could literally. Actually, I think I have it on my phone. I can show you later. Of the mural that I just painted. It looks like a bunch of slop, and then it's like this perfect mural. But essentially now I can kind of just like sketch on a napkin quickly of what I want, and I already know what it's gonna look like in my head.
Yep.
And then I bring it into Illustrator and put it all together.
When you say bring it in Illustrator, do you like scan it and bring it in, or no?
I take a picture of it usually, like, just on my phone, so it's like loose, and then I kind of pop it there.
Are you now? Say today you're gonna go do a new design. The background's new, but that bee's gonna be in it. Do you have a bee that you grab from an old design, copy and paste it on there? Yeah. Okay. You're not drawing the bee every single time.
No. So that was kind of my goal, like 20 years ago. I was like, I want to create this catalog, and it's almost like, because I'm also like in this like fine art, skateboard art, world that's now cool. It wasn't cool back then, but now it's cool. But I was like, I want somebody to come that either bought a painting or likes the art or has a T-shirt or whatever it is that they bought 17 years ago to like see a new painting or this and be like, bro, I have that shirt with the candlestick. That's the same candlestick, So it's I like that it's almost like these Easter eggs or these things that you've already seen. When I need I don't need to have unless I'm making a book about 17 different candlesticks, but I don't need 17 different candles. I need one candle. And I use it whenever I need a candle. That's my candle.
So do you have like a folder in a computer and it says B?
No, I just know. Like I should, but
But it's you, so you don't. Yeah.
I've been trying to have that. Like, what's the thing? I do all this stuff for brands, and I have like this whole like brand guideline and all all the attributes and everything, and all put in a folder for them to use. And there's like 100 different files for them to like pick. And then for me, I don't have any of that because like I had somebody ask me for my like. I'm like, well, I don't have it because it's me. I just do it because I know where everything is.
Yeah, you know where it is. Yeah.
So I'm like, I definitely have to do that for myself. But there's just like. There's always no time, but I'm like, and then when I do have time, I'm like, I just want to have a break.
Yeah.
Like today's my break day. So this is. Thank you for being part of my lunch break.
No problem. That's why I love I love businesses with a slow season. Like I have a slow season, and then I can do shit like that.
Yeah.
That's like, every time, like throughout the whole spring, summer, fall, I'm like, do that in the winter. I'll do that in the winter. I'll do that in the winter. And then the winter comes and it's not as slow as you think, or it's just like, it's almost done. And it's like, shit, like I had to organize like my computer or whatever, right? I always do computer shit in the winter. Like if my computer's got to go away for a few days, like I'll try to do that in like middle of January where I can go 4 days without it. I can't go 4 hours without it in October,
Well, and that's the thing too. Like I find that whenever you kind of like, it's always crying. You only notice it, I guess you would say, when it happens. But yeah, like when your computer like shuts down and you're like, oh, what the heck? And then you turn it back. I don't know, I'm an Apple guy, but like, you turn it back on, then it's like, then it has like 45 minutes. I'm like, no, I don't have 45 minutes to do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like that always happens on like the wrong day. Or I guess you just notice it because it's happening.
Like that's why I got, like I have my laptop, like my desktop is what I work on. But like if something's going on with that, like I'm just like right on the laptop while like it figures out what the fuck's going on. Because sometimes it's like, no, this is the time to hit that deadline. I need to hit it right now. Like you said, I don't like to miss things, I guess.
No.
How does the truck play into the TV show? And what's the TV show called?
As of right now, I mean, we kind of pitched the name The Zookeeper.
Cool.
And then we were thinking that we might change it, but I don't know, people keep calling it The Zookeeper, so I'm like, all right. Yeah. And then my wife's the Zookeeper's keeper, I guess.
So what's how's the truck play in?
So the show is it's all about like community and community involvement and how the community comes together to support these projects. So we still do. We need sponsorship for episodes because a lot of these shows, for example, like say a show got funded for a cooking show. Okay, well you go buy $200 worth of food and you sit in here and cook it, and the show's over in 2 days and you edit it. Ours isn't like that. Like even when they gave it to us, like, are you guys gonna be able to do all these crazy projects with this? And we're like, yeah, we know people. They'll hook us up, because we're installing like $30,000 murals and all this, and it's like, well, we don't think there's not money for that. And so we've called on a few sponsors. We're still like asking for sponsors, but the truck, I just rang up my buddy and I said, hey man, we're doing a TV show. We're going to be wrapping the truck. Would you guys want to, sponsor the truck, and we'll, put your name on it, obviously, in the wrap and all that. And he was like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So a couple days went by. I was like, yeah, we're in. I'm like, all right. And then I used to work at Fast Signs. So I like back in the day, 25 years ago or something like that. So I stopped in there and just kind of told them, hey, we're doing this TV show. It's going to be on, 5-1 TV or 5 TV1. Which is like a Bell channel, yada yada. You're gonna have all these eyes on you. We're gonna do the premiere. Are you interested in kind of sponsoring the wrap? Yeah, sure, let's do it. So everything's kind of happening. Like Lyune is a huge sponsor. They came on as like a headlining sponsor. It's really nice to see the community care about art.
Yeah.
For once, art's always the last thing to be cared about, even though it's the only thing that like makes life worth living.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Because you have these people complaining, I'm not giving money to art. Like, art's for losers. And I'm like, did you listen to the radio on the way to work? They're like, yeah, every day it's the best. I'm like, okay, that's art. I'm like, did you watch movies last night? They're like, yeah, I watched 17 movies. I'm like, that's all art too. And it's like, they're like, oh, I just want to hate art more, but all I do is consume it. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's the only reason to live, Like,
no, seriously. Yeah, everything you see is art. Everything. Yeah. It's all art. Everything.
But everybody complains about it, doesn't want to pay for it, but it's the thing that like runs their life. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Like people complain about like $10 for Spotify a month, but they'll pay $600 for a car they don't need. Yeah. Or $800 or $900 for a car they don't need. Where it's like like that's, you get more joy probably out of your music than you do out of your car.
True, and I think Spotify should also pay the people a bit better.
Yeah. They just rose their price. Now it's like $15 a month or whatever. And I don't know how that works with their paying people. But
I think they don't do a very good job.
No.
From what I hear.
Okay, interesting. I don't know anything about that, but they should. Especially since they're raising their prices.
Yeah. But it's just, the classic corporate greed,
Yeah. It's very real. Your new mural that went up last week. This will probably air in a week from now, so it went up 2 weeks ago. Just explain. Well, you already said it was at the Red Piston. It's on their building, right?
Yep.
Where is that located?
So Red Piston is on I should probably know the address by now, but it's on Chatham Street at Chatham at Elmer. So it's about 1 block east of the casino and one block off of the river.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, where Brew used to kind of be.
Kind of, yeah. You could see Brew from where the mural is.
Okay.
And if you miss the mural, like, you should go see optician. What is it called? Optometrist. Optometrist. Because it's like, it's big. It's like 50 feet by 25 feet or something.
How long did it take you to paint?
I think it was about a week.
That's it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I moved pretty quick.
You got scissor lifts for all that?
Oh, yeah. And I had some buddies help me with this one. But I also did a primer coat and then a background coat. Like, so I painted it. Essentially, I painted the building 3 times.
You just like a gray coat gun to do like the background?
Yeah, because it was like old brick. So I was like, okay, let's seal that and prime it. Yep. And then I painted some backdrop colors because it was it's a red and white essentially mural. Yep. So I was like, I'll kind of save on the spray paint aspect to it if I kind of put backdrops in, you know? Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'll try to pull it up here.
So whenever you do these murals, so when you're doing the characters on the mural, actually, you know what? Let me pull this up and then we can look at it and talk about it. Perfect. It'll be better. Yeah. Okay, we're back. So we wanted to pull up the mural before we talk about it. Okay, so let me ask you questions. So you do the whole thing, like all this red background, that's with like a gray paint sprayer.
Yeah, so we did that with a paint sprayer, yeah.
And when you do like this guy's eye, what are you using for that? Spray paint?
The spray paint, yeah.
That's like your whole wingspan, is it not?
Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, this wall is 25 feet by 50 feet. So yeah, that eye is probably
bigger than that.
3 feet, 4 feet.
Yeah. So, like you obviously you have to have there's a big difference between doing that and then doing it in Illustrator.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm getting better every time I try it, but it's not easy. Like that's what I mean. Like I don't know the real answer, but like I don't think spray paint is made for this. Spray paint is made to fade. Like, so you can fade stuff, right? Because it's like dusty and like, I think you're probably supposed to use a brush for this, but I don't because it goes, it's cleaner. I mean, it depends on the way you look at cleaner, but to breathe in, it's not cleaner, but you wear a mask. But, to make these solid lines, you're probably better with a brush or whatever, but spray paint is a lot quicker. So like to do this by brush, I think you'd add on times 3. Like it's.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I just had to get good enough to have a straight line, and it's
no Control Z. How's that feel up there? Sometimes
there is no. Well, there's kind of Control Z because there's other paint, so you can always paint back over it.
So if you for example, just for shits, if you screw up this line, you can just use some red and fix it quick, and then just redo the line.
Yeah, and it dries super fast, right? So we're talking like I can, if I screw up the black, I can go over it with the red in less than a minute and then go back over in less than a minute. Like sometimes almost instantly, depending on what color and things like that. But I don't even really do that though. Like once in a while I'll do that. But yeah, this is just what I do and what I've done for so long. It's just I have to I don't even know how to explain it. This is all I know. And I come from the clothing world of t-shirts, right? So to me, this whole thing is essentially screen printing. You pop all your colors down and you kind of cover the edges with the dark color, the black goes on last and it kind of covers everything, silkscreen style. So that's essentially what I'm doing. That's just what I do and what I know to do.
So are none of these actually windows?
So that's super cool. So they actually are all windows. But it's like this old building. So actually this building, which you can't see, it's on this wall. Okay. But this building used to be a clothing dyeing factory.
Oh, wow.
So they used to dye clothing, and there's a graphic of it on here. And also a trolley train yard or something. So anyway, I don't know if this has anything to do with the windows, but so all of these windows have zombie apocalypse shutters on it. So they roll down and shut.
From the on the outside.
From the inside. Well, from the inside, there's a rope inside to close the shutters, and
cool.
I didn't know that. And one day we were up in the boardroom here, and they shut the window because it was too bright. And I'm like, oh, do all the windows have that? They're like, yeah. I'm like, dude, let's just put all the windows down. I'll paint it, and then if you need to open the windows, you roll them up and it's gone. But why not have it there?
Yeah, that's sick.
And so we did that. So we closed all the windows. That's the only one that doesn't have it. It's a newer window. But all these windows in the real building all have that shutter on it. So essentially they can roll this up. That's not a window, but these two are windows. window. They can roll them up and just the design will disappear, but then they roll it back down and the design's back.
That's pretty sweet.
So yeah,
that's very cool. And then obviously, so you painted. I see you painted these little red things too. That's cool.
Yeah, they were yellow, but they stuck out.
Is this the biggest one that you've done? Biggest mural you've ever done?
Second biggest. The biggest one I did is marginally bigger. Like this one was 50 by 25. The other one was 70 by 25.
Oh wow!
So it's not that much. I mean, with that little piece, like it's essentially the same size. But that one's in Chatham.
What's on this upper wall right here? Is there anything?
Yeah, so that's like the T-shirt with dripping paint because it's like a dye factory.
Cool.
With a trolley as the graphic on the shirt.
Sweet.
As like a history nod.
Yeah, so, that's really cool.
Yeah, the whole mural is Canadian tech and innovation. So like hockey and basketball are both Canadian. Zippers were invented by a Canadian. Robertson screwdriver Canadian. Paint roller Canadian. And then there's tech parts of just the fact of like upload, download, but that's also like encoding, like Java. The whole background, you can't really see it on here, but it's binary. It's all ones and zeros.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it says RP, RP, RP because it's like Red Piston.
Oh, that's really cool.
That'll be like a video game that Red Piston's making for us.
Oh, like on the App Store kind of thing?
Yeah.
So super cool.
Yeah, like it was a huge sponsor, so they got us these huge tarps made, and I just made a little construction bee.
Yeah, that's a big ass tarp.
Oh yeah, they're 25 by 25 foot tarps each of them, and then we zip tie them together.
So what are you guys doing with them now?
I don't know. I'm gonna give one to Liuna to hang up at their building, hopefully, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with mine because my house isn't 25 feet.
Yeah, no shit. That's a big.
they have some buildings that are, but
you should like raise it up on the flag downtown. You know, like
that
Canadian
would be
flag.
sweet. That would be. Yeah, we should have a haunted zoo day. Hey, there we go. I'm calling the city. What day would be haunted zoo day?
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. See this little thing here? You painted that with spray paint too?
Yeah, but those are stencils. Like that's a stencil.
That's a stencil, but none of this is stencil. This is all freehand.
Yeah, like freehand. Like there's no stencils here.
Like I always thought Dan used like stencils for his big murals, and when he told me that he didn't, I was like, he's like, dude, I don't really use stencils for that much, and I was like, dude, what? Yeah, like those skateboards he does those by hand.
Which ones?
Like they look like pill bottles, but they're skateboards.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, those look like 100% perfect.
Yeah,
and he paints them. That's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. But yeah, okay.
And obviously, the bigger you go, the better. To me, like it's easier the bigger it is because you have. I mean, well, it's kind of a catch-22 because then the more wonk it could go.
Yeah.
But it's also easier because it's not so much detail like this little spike on this blower pufferfish. It's like okay, cool. Like that's 3 feet by whatever. So but if that was shrunk down onto this laptop, I'm like, well, I can't even do that like with a spray can, right? It's like
yeah, no, I see that. That makes sense.
Use a brush and
yeah, like for like a little spike, but you can like it's easier to paint.
Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna pop this back to the other thing. That's cool though. That's why I like having the TV. We get to kind of.
Yeah, the biggest one's the one that we did in Chatham. It's a whole like jungle scene of it's like a gorilla and a snake. Kind of like it's the design that's on the truck.
I've actually I have it on here to ask you about that. So
okay.
What did you did our retro suites in Chatham?
No, we stayed there. Like they were a sponsor of the event, so we stayed there, which is super cool. I never been there and didn't know what to expect.
I just stayed there like 2 months ago too.
Yeah, it's like I knew the lobby was weird and cool and whatever, but then we opened our door to our bedroom. I was like, what the heck? I was like,
every room, man.
Yeah, and our room was like weird. Like it wasn't that crazy, but it was like half castle. Like I was like making a joke that we were like in Camelot. But it was like half castle, half like New Mexico, like Santa Fe, like so yeah, it was like cactuses, and then like I don't know, like our washroom was like 3,000 feet high with like a little gate in the wall, and it was weird. It was super cool. So I was like, oh, I didn't know the whole place was like this. But I painted the Nest building, which is kind of on the corner right next to the post office, but. It was funny because when they asked me, they said, hey, do you want this wall? And I happened to be coming back from Toronto at the time. And she sent me a picture and I said, well, I don't know. I'm like, I'll be driving by Chatham in, I don't know, 45 minutes. Like I'll just pull in and take 12 minutes out of my day to see what it is. Because there was like, there's a stairwell, like a staircase going up the wall. There's 2 air conditioners on the wall. There's like 3,000 pipes on the wall. There's like so much stuff on this wall. And there's a huge wall, like 70 by 25 feet. And there's a building kind of in front of it. So I was like, I don't know. This is a lot of stuff in the way. And you're not even able to see it because of this building in the way. And I'm like, you know what? But it's a cool challenge to try and get around all these like, you know, obstructions and whatever. So it'll be a little more fun for me.
Yeah.
And so I said yes, and then we started. Now I had to make the design to fit around all these obstacles and stuff. And I remember we were like 3 days in or something like that, and like the mural's like pretty neon, like it's like purples and oranges and greens, and it's like it sticks out, right? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna see if you can even see this thing when you're driving by. So we go down the road and we start coming towards it. And I'm like, oh, dude, you can see this thing from space. Like, cool. You know what I mean? Because when it was just like gray and crusty, like you can't see it. It's kind of like, but when we started painting, I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like you can see this thing from space. And like other people started being like, dude, on my way to work, it's like, you know, it just like brightens my car windshield as I drive out. I'm like, okay, this building in front, like it's not even really in front, but it's like, it depends. You'll see when you go there, but it's like, you can see it from both angles. And it just so happens that these 3 streets kind of like conjoin on this point, and it's just this massive like neon wall. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine. You can totally see this.
That's pretty sick. That's cool. That's cool. And you did that one in August?
I think so.
You did it like August,
September, or something.
Like right before this one, right?
Yeah, a month ago maybe.
Okay.
Month and a half, 2 months ago.
So you went from that one in Chatham to this one pretty much almost.
Yeah, and then there was the boxing gym in between.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a lot of painting.
So yeah, I think we did 3 murals in a month and a half or 2 months or something.
So the Red Piston one, you said that took about a week?
Yeah.
And how long did the Chatham one take? Same thing?
Yeah. That was like on the button. Like I finished it the like Sunday night, like the night that the mural festival stopped.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of work and a lot of paint.
Oh, so much paint. Yeah, tons of paint.
So obviously, so whenever you do like the background, you're just buying like 5-gallon pails.
This is actually the only time that I've done.
For the Red Piston one.
Paint. Yeah. I usually by the time I get to the wall, whoever's putting on the festival or whatever has already buffed it.
Nice.
And then I just start with spray paint.
Nice.
Because that's the thing too. Like I use so many different colors that to change the paint every 2 seconds is kind of. Yeah. You know, it's like, and then you got the mess and you gotta wash it. Like, whereas spray paint's like you just grab and it costs a bit more, but like for the convenience factor of it, it's just when you're doing something that big, you don't.
Yeah. Do you change the tips or you usually yeah, you do.
Well, so that's a funny story too. I didn't even know about because I used to paint like back in the day. I used to paint by brush. I never really painted murals. I just painted. You know, I think my biggest thing at that point was like 4 feet by 4 feet, and it was like for gallery kind of stuff. And then I did one on Droulard in, I don't know, let's say 2017, 18, something like that, I forget. And I did it with spray paint. And at the time I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know what I was doing. And I just did it with like the stock cap. And when I see it now, like it's a bit wonk, but when I see it now, I'm like, dude, how did I do that for my first mural? Because I think some after that were like not as good. And I was like, how did that happen? And it's on a super wonky wall. And then I did that when I was doing Sweet Revenge Bake Shop.
That's you too. Okay.
Yeah. That was like my first like big, because that wall is big too. That's like 60 something feet or something.
Is that big, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's like 16 feet, so it's not 25. It's like 16 feet by. It's like, and then I also did the windows.
It's panoramic.
Yeah. And so that was during a mural festival as well for the free for all walls that Denomme puts on there, and so I did that, and that was my first time like kind of really using spray paint, and I was using the wrong caps. And my buddy Golden 305 that did we have a very similar style. He's from Miami. He did the stuff on the volleyball courts. People mistake it for mine all the time. Like, no, it's Golden. Check him out. He's awesome.
Which one? The like across from Bull and Barrel downtown?
Yeah. So we have a very similar style, and he was like, bro, he's like, no, you got to use this cap and this cap. He's like, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, I don't do this, you know. This is 2 years ago now, going back. Yeah. So so he kind of like, you know, showed me that there's different caps and then what like, people that we paint, because most people paint murals are like fading stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's like, this is what you got to use. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. So then after that, like 2 weeks later, I did the pawn shop there with the shark and the pig on it. Mm-hmm. So I sent him a pic. I'm like, dude, look how much better this is. I'm like, thank you. But yeah, and then it's been crazy from there. Like from that point on, then it's just been like I've been in Florida a bunch of times doing murals and put one up in Denver when I was there, and
that's sick.
It's just I don't know, it just keeps happening. Like it's something that I thought when the Haunted Zoo came back 2 years ago, I thought it was going to last for a month or 2 months or 3 months. And then it kept going and going and going and going and going and going. And because we kind of put the hot sauce on hold for a second. And we're like, okay, we'll come back to this. Like we literally just invested a ton of money in the hot sauce company, Halo Heats, because it's going super well.
Is it still going right now?
Well, it was going super well. I bought a bunch of equipment. Like I have like 100,000 bottles and a new a huge blender and like all this stuff. And then the bee came back being like, hey, remember me? And I'm like, I do remember you. It was like the one that got away, you know? And I asked Christy, my wife, I said, well, what are we going to do, you know? And she said, do you think you're going to have a third chance to do Haunted Zoo? And I said, I didn't even know I was going to have a second chance to do Haunted Zoo. And she's like, well, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. So we just hunkered down and we've been super focused on Haunted Zoo stuff for the last 2 years, and it keeps going. And now we have a TV show, and it's like I don't think it's going anywhere now. Well, it's going, it's here to stay. Let's put it that way. But so it's I don't know. Like we're not actively doing the hot sauce right now.
Okay.
We've kind of gotten rid of the stock that we've had, and but we still own the company. We still have all the equipment. We still have everything. But yeah, this just keeps taking up all of our waking hours. So.
Yeah, man, it's hard to be a part of multiple things. It's.
I wish I was just good at one thing, but you gotta be good at multiple things.
Yeah, like even it's hard to organize these things in your brain too. For me, I have this umbrella, and it's like trying to remember, like, what do I do again?
And the thing is, like, as a designer, like, I make the branding for these companies, and I get to kind of come out, we go to the farmer's market, we come out our first day, and it's like, this Pepsi? Like, whereas most people come to the farmer's market, they have like a mason jar with yarn on it and whatever, and then in 3 years they get a sticker from Staples, and then like, whereas we don't do that. We come out and it's like, oh dude, this is like, we were on Let's Make a Deal, the TV show, 3 months after we came out.
Oh damn.
And we're like, how did you find us? And like, oh, like we saw your branding and it was A-list and yada yada yada, and they had us on the show, and we're like, oh, okay. And because it matters, right? Yeah. But that's just like my baseline of design. That's what I do. Yeah. Right. It's so
you're lucky that what you do is good for marketing.
Yeah.
It's like being a photographer.
Yeah, 100%.
I always have content because that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, the hot sauce is a company. Like it's like next. Oh, I don't like your hot sauce. Cool. Next. Like it's to make money.
Yeah.
I like the design and marketing of it. Like that's what I do. It's what I get off on, is great design. But when I die, I'm gonna probably die, right? When I die, there's gonna be a bee on my tombstone, not a flame. This is like my identity. Like the Haunted Zoo is my identity. It's who I am. I'm the bee guy. The hot sauce to me is a company that's like next. It's for money. So
yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I have kind of some things that I do where it's like more personal versus more things that are just for money, but those things aren't like part of your soul, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you don't care about the hot sauce, like in that regard. At the end of the day, like, well, when like you die.
If someone said I don't like your hot sauce, I'd be like, cool. Next. If someone said I don't like Haunted Zoo, I'd cry on a curb and be like, why don't you like it?
Yeah. Nope, I get it 100%.
I mean, not for real, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. What are some upcoming things you got going on now besides the TV show, which is upcoming? But.
So yeah, every day it's coming. I mean, that's all we're focused on is the TV show. But there's things that we're doing that I can talk about that are just happen to be getting filmed for the TV show. So right now, like starting pretty much today, we have to start getting ready for the revealing of the ice rink downtown when they do at City Hall.
Yep.
They're eventually it's going to be an ice rink when it gets cold enough.
Yeah.
So I think it's December 6th, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it's December 6th.
That makes sense. That's a Saturday.
Yeah, and there's a parade as well, so we're going to be in the parade.
Cool.
But we're putting some installations at the ice rink for the whole winter skating kind of season.
Oh, sick.
So there'll be some Haunted Zoo stuff floating around the ice rink.
That's the night of that show I asked you to be in.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So
the day of that show.
I'm gonna have to probably drop this stuff off earlier, and I'm probably gonna need to ask you if you can hang it.
We're hanging on Friday.
Okay.
But you can drop it off when.
But I might be loading pickup trucks and.
That's fine.
But yeah, so we're gonna have to I think this might be my first. We're still figuring it out. but my first hurrah in like 3D large scale sculpture.
Oh, sick. Because you make little ones, right?
I have in the past.
Okay.
But yeah, this could be something cool. Or it will be something cool. But yeah, so there's that. We're doing some other like immersive rooms at Wetra. So yeah, so there's like a therapeutic room that we're going to be haunted zoifying.
Nice. That's really cool.
And then yeah, what else on this? I don't even know what projects are coming. Oh, we're doing another one too. It's like I won't give too much away about this one, but just like kind of like famous Windsor foods.
Okay.
In the area. We're gonna do something like that for the show. But yeah, it's like everything's coming up. All the things.
What's this kid program that you do? What's that entail?
So we were asked by it's a school in St. Joachim. I can never pronounce it, so I'll just say a school in St. Joachim. There's probably one school.
The school in St. Joachim. Yeah.
They asked us to come in and I'll tell the story better. They were doing a super weird how this happened, but they were doing a class. Like their art teacher was doing a class on street art and graffiti and yada whatever. And it just so happened that my cousin's wife worked there, and she walked into the room whilst they were talking about it, and she's like, "Oh, that's my cousin." And the teacher was like, "Oh, like, do you have his phone number? Like, do you know how to get a hold of him?" And she's like, "Yeah." So the art teacher gave me a call and said, "Hey, we want you to come in here and like talk to the class or do a mural or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, well, like, get some funding and yada yada yada." So a year later, it took a year. A year later, they finally called and they were like, "Hey, we're ready to do this project." So I ended up going into the school and we did an assembly with with all the grades, but we did an assembly in the morning with I think it was grade 3 and down or something.
Yep.
And I kind of told them my story and talked about, being an artist and how, being a designer and a muralist and a photographer, like just all the things that I've done throughout life, and how if you want to be an artist, you can, but it looks like it could be looked at in different ways. Like, it's not just like I'm an artist, I draw with pencil on paper, there's many different facets. So I kind of show them that, and then they made their own haunted zoo characters and colored like a small, or I was like 4 feet or something like that, basically coloring page. They all colored it in. And then the older kids came in and did the same presentation, but then they were the ones that helped paint it. So we basically, once again, I put the coloring book on the wall. We used water-based spray paint inside the school and painted this whole wall with the kids. And it was like pretty transformative for some of these kids.
Yeah.
When I got hired to do it, I looked at it as like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to go and inspire some kids and whatever. But the reality of it is I went in and it was like totally different than what I thought. And it was, I might even cry telling the story, but like these kids inspired me. Like it was the other way around. Cause yeah, I would be like painting in the middle of the day cause the classes were still going on. And they would come up and be like, "Mr. Denomme, I drew you something." And they like have like pictures to give me, and they'd be like, "You should make a fox." And they did their version of a fox. And one of the kids, let's call him Billy. That's not his name. But
Yeah.
And I didn't know any of this. Right? I don't know any of these kids. I just met them like that week.
Yeah.
And so on the second day we came in and to start prepping, and the principal came up to us and she's like, "Oh my God, Billy." His mom called and said that you sent home a different kid last night. He came home. He wanted to paint the basement. He was all jazzed up. She's like, he's like a hockey kid. That's like very kind of like into hockey and can stress him out because he has to perform at such a high level and yada yada yada. And now he's like super into this painting, and it really like kind of triggered something in him to do this. I'm like, oh my God, really? And then like that night, his dad came to pick him up from school, and his dad came in and like shook my hand and was like thanking me, and I'm like, oh my, like this is crazy.
That's really cool.
And then again, when I was done the project, all the kids gave me a postcard, like just saying like thank you, and that goes inspirational, and I was like crying reading these things. And one of the cards said, "Hey, I'm Billy's cousin. yada yada yada. You really inspired my cousin Billy this week. Thank you so much. And I'm like, like, so it was like this whole thing that I thought I was coming in and being this like cool guy, being like, oh, you can do art. And then I'm like, I love you guys, like that. It was like it was like I felt like I was on one of these like HGTV like bus driver move that bus show. So after that, we kind of created the program. And like, yeah, we'll go into schools, or we'll go into like day camps, or like we did with the boxing gym. And either there's like multiple different levels to it, right? Like we can paint one of your walls. We have temporary walls that we can bring to location, and you just scribble if you want. You can just have me in for like a presentation.
Yep.
So there's all different levels to it. It's on our website. You can kind of contact us and we can pick something out for you.
That's where like I saw it when I was on your website doing research for this stuff.
Yeah, but like again, our kids are pretty young. Our kids are 7 and 3. So I'm just kind of learning about that world,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. I didn't think that kids would be so into this. But even at the boxing gym like a couple weeks ago, like kids are going bonkers over it, and like kids I don't even know are running up to me and hugging me and be like, thank you so much, this was so cool. And I'm like, oh yeah, Dan, no problem, man.
Do you bring your 7-year-old to these events too?
Oh yeah, my kids come to all the stuff. Yeah.
That's cool. That's fun.
I even got to bring them out to Florida this year actually in January. Yeah, so we were out there for a month.
Nice.
And
they came the whole time, the kids?
They came for 3 weeks. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I painted a hotel on the ocean out there. So I was like, oh, perfect. Cool. We'll stay right here.
That's pretty sick. So you got to stay at the hotel?
Oh yeah. It was awesome.
Nice. They must all like that. Did they ever ask you to like help paint? Well, I guess the 3-year-old maybe not. Well, maybe they
don't paint. I guess. Well, I let them paint outside. Like let them spray paint with me.
Yeah.
We have a whole wall on the side of our house that's all spray painted. It started out. We did a renovation, and I ripped out a window and a door, and patched it in. So I have to redo the siding anyway, which is coming up. Which I was supposed to be doing right now, but now we have the show and I don't have time to do it, so I'll probably do it in the spring. But yeah, so I was like, well, we're gonna replace the siding anyway, so now it's just covered in spray paint. And I'm like, well, we're gonna replace it. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's sweet. I should have had somebody do something like weird on one of our walls while we painted them, but it's too late now. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is just your book. Just a little bit. So you made a children's book, which we've already talked about, and you said it's like 36 pages.
Yeah.
It's out. It's fully out.
It is fully out, and we were pushing hard for it. Because but writing a book's a lot. Well,
Yeah.
But writing a book is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And illustrating a book is a lot of work as well. And we banged it out in 2 months. But like I literally worked on it 12 to 14 hours a day for 2 months straight. Like I'd come in to eat and sleep. That's it.
Yeah, no, I believe you.
And we banged it out. And we were all hyped on it. We're like, we're going to do a book tour and take over the role of this book and all this. And then like, I don't know, 2 weeks later or something is when we got this call about this TV show. And we're like, okay, pivot, TV show. Like, so we have another book actually coming out in the show. Like our second book as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Man, 2 months is wild. Usually take like a year or more.
Yeah. I would not suggest doing that. But we had a deadline that we wanted to meet, and we did. But it was definitely quite the feet. But yeah, I don't know if I answered the question. What was the question?
Where's the book? Where can people get it?
You can get the book off our website, hauntedzoo.com, or just go to on Instagram at the Haunted Zoo and find your way to our webpage, or we're always at events.
Yeah. So you're just selling it at your booths on your website, not on Amazon?
Oh, actually, it is for sale on Amazon. I haven't told anybody about that yet, but yeah, you can buy it on Amazon.
Then they take a big cut, so I don't do that. Buy it from your website. Right?
I mean, whatever. You can buy it on Amazon, but you won't get it signed. That's kind of our
Gotcha.
thing, right? Get it from us and get it signed.
You ship it for the Amazon too, or no?
No, we don't even ship it. Like we just, actually, I don't want to tell myself. I guess Canada Post probably isn't listening, right? When people do buy it, we ship it to them as a letter.
Yeah,
So it's like,
oh, of course,
$5 instead of $15 or whatever it is. So.
Yeah, one of my books doesn't fit in the letter thing, but one does.
Oh, okay.
I have a hardcover.
Okay. Yes.
So that doesn't work, but the other one does work for that. Yeah.
Okay. But so that's what I do for that, just kind of keep the cost down on it. We haven't even told anybody that it's available on Amazon, but it is. You can just search it. It's on Amazon.
I have mine in like all the local bookstores around town. All the owners of the bookstores are all great. Like, just walk in with $5 and be like, "Hey, you guys want to sell these?" They'll be like, "Yeah, sure." Okay. Put them on the shelf. They're sick.
Well, and that was the plan.
Yeah. But then now you're busy.
And then it just so it's like, this is more important, I think, is to do this TV show.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, like Juniper, Biblioasis, everybody, they're all so great. Like,
we'll go bug them soon.
Yeah, I've always just walked in with like $3 and now that I had one there and now my second one, so it's different. But the first time I was like, I made these, and they're like, yeah, put them on the shelf, put them wherever you want.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll give you a call if it sells or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Good to know.
Just to have them in the stores, like they're all great. Indigo's cool, but they take like 50%. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing and then also the books. So the books necessarily, like I'm not making books to make books, which sounds weird. I'm making books because those are basically storyboards to sell to animation studios.
Oh, cool.
Instead of no one's buying a storyboard off me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But people will buy storybooks off me, and then it's like, oh, here you go, animation studio. Like, and then that's the reason. I would say, because I've had people, oh, should I make a book? Or I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just part of my world. Like, it's just another thing to have.
Yeah.
You know, when you come to the booth or whatever, there's another item to sell.
Yeah.
And it's for the greater good of the whole kind of brand to have the book, and then now all of a sudden you're in someone's house and they're reading the book and they go, oh, well, maybe I'll get a T-shirt. Maybe now I know what this bee's all about, or so it's a way to kind of get in that way. But if I was just trying to make books and not sign on to like Penguin or something like that. I don't think it's a good idea because the book world, like you said, like hot sauce. I go to a store, they want 48 bottles and they're paying wholesale price. They're making, $5. Cool. Done. I make what I need. They make what they need. But books, yeah. So it's like, we want it for half price and we want 2. I'm like, well, what? No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, so you want the best deal ever, but you want 2 books. And then so
we want 2.
So you're gonna give me $4 next month, and it took me $8 to drive here. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you couldn't have described it better.
Yeah.
You're making them for you or for a different reason.
Yeah. So it's like, so I'm not trying to be, and that's the thing too, even with murals, like I'm not trying to be this like world famous muralist or the best muralist or this Olympic winning muralist or this, this author. Like these are all things that could happen or could come. It's all for the fact of promoting the haunted zoo,
the whole thing,
and getting that in front of as many eyes as possible to then have this like animated series cartoon world. Like that's the point of everything is the end goal of having this like kind of cartoon in front of like on TV or on Netflix or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's like me with this podcast too. Like I'm not trying to be like a radio host one day or like have this crazy podcast. It's like so I can just talk to interesting people in the city and just have a relationship with like everybody I think cool. It's pretty cool. Like anytime I see somebody doing something cool and I want to talk to them, I can talk to them. It's pretty sweet.
It's a way. I mean, I've met you before this as well, but like it's a for someone that you might not kind of bump into. Yeah, it's a good way to like instead of being weird, like hey, you want to come over? It's like oh, you want to come over and do this thing, right? Like we actually, my wife and I wanted to start doing this like whatever it was Sunday or Saturday, like a breakfast brunch kind of thing at our house in our backyard this summer, and it was I forget the actual format of what it was, but it was like we invite 10 people or whatever it is, and then those 10 people via like knowing who we are, and we don't like random crazy people, but like knowing who we are and what we like or whatever, they have to invite the next 10 people, and we may not even know them, and then those 10 people don't know each other and they come to our house for like breakfast, and it's kind of like this like social experiment, but also meeting all these random cool people.
It's really sweet
that we never would, and then COVID happened and it was like okay, we're probably not going to do that, and then we just haven't done it because now we're busy, but one day maybe we'll do that.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
And it's like the weird way of saying like, hey, like someone else finds you interesting and thinks that we might like you or something, and then maybe they don't even talk to us while it's around our house, and they hit it off with some other person that's there and start chatting whatever they're chatting about.
Yeah, I love like networking like that, but
and it's like fun, weird, cool, a different way of approaching it.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. We hit on so many different things. Can you let everybody know like where they can find you, like the main spot?
Everywhere. at my house, no, in the studio.
Tell everybody your address.
No, you can. I mean, you can find us on the old. If you have the internet, if you ever heard of the internet, at The Haunted Zoo, or thehauntedzoo.com.
Yeah,
those two places, or at all kinds of different markets, and we're always posting. I like to be silly and like I don't take myself too seriously, so like I'm always posting dumb reels or stories about what market we're at, or So,
are you at any markets coming up until Christmas? From now till Christmas that you know of already?
We're doing the Dresden one.
Okay.
We haven't been yet, but we heard it was pretty good, so we got in this year. We'll probably do a Bright Lights night. But yeah, we just finished a bunch of like markets and stuff. So that was the crazy part because we didn't know about the show, and we signed up for all these markets, and then all of a sudden we found out about the show, and we're like, no, we don't have time for all these markets, but we did them anyway.
Yeah.
It's in the past now. It all worked out. We didn't die.
How was Art in the Park? Was this your first year at Art in the Park?
No, it was our third year.
Okay.
Yeah, Art in the Park's awesome.
Yeah, man,
like
it's great.
It's definitely. I would say Art in the Park and Dropped on Juilliard are the two that you got to be in.
Yeah, for sure. It's
we also did like it's smaller, but we also did the punk rock flea market. Yeah. That banged, man. That was good. That was. I mean, you have to be in the right industry or the right person or whatever to be in it to make it work.
Of course.
I don't know. Like if you made doilies, I don't know, you probably wouldn't sell that many at the punk rock flea market. Actually, maybe doilies are punk rock. I don't know. But like we have pins, and pins are super popular, and stickers and the whole skate world.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did really well, and we'll definitely be doing more of those.
Nice. That's great. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Much appreciated. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you for your first cappuccino to come out of your cappuccino.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right. That was perfect. That was an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh.